Hey, so to just jump right into this, I got a letter today um, from my good buddy Bobby Garza, who does avant-garde productions. He does kind of like an ambient noise project called Mannequin Cellar. Sent me some stuff in a letter, a quick letter. He says, "Hey man, here's some really random stuff as a thank you for sending the zine. As you can see, Worm finally replied. Well, he sent me a bunch of stuff, but no letter. Does he? Does he ever write notes with stuff you get, or just a package? Let me know when this lands. Until next time, Bobby." So he's talking about this guy Worm. He sent me these CDs that Worm did. Worm does a zine. He also sent me this. Sent me a bunch of stuff, but James Whale Criminal File zine. What the hell is this? I just got it today. So Worm is this guy who does a zine called Worm, and I already wrote a letter back to Bobby, and he says, does Worm write letters to you? I haven't heard from Worm in a long time, in years, but he has such horrible penmanship that he's really hard. Like, look at his writing. Look at his writing on his CDs. Like, he's really hard to read his penmanship. I mean, I guess you can kind of read that. Jesus Christ. And I guess you can read it. It says, for more info, write to Worm. Oh, can you make that out? I mean, write him a letter if you can. So I got some comics today too. I got Wildcats #2. I didn't have #1. I'll read it, and I got the all new, all different Savage Avengers #8. I think I'm gonna take this one. Like, stop buying this one. I got this Vanish #1. I haven't read it yet. He looks cool. Vanish does look cool. That's why I bought it. I was like, he looks like a like. There's no like superhero. Barely any superheroes anymore. Like new comics. Art by Ryan Stegman. The art's really good too. And then one that I know is gonna be good. Koshche in Hell, written by Mike Mignola with art by Ben Stenbeck. Stenbeck is just awesome artist. I've talked about him before. He has such an understated style, but just, yeah, look at like that. You see that face. He's so good. I mean, now I see actually more of a Mike Mignola influence on his art. If it's good or bad, I'm not sure. So I'm gonna actually review a movie instead of a zine. I was gonna review a zine, but I was like, I bet people are getting. Maybe you want a movie review. So I'm gonna review 2015's Howl, written, oh, directed by Paul Hyatt, written by Mark Huckerby and Nick Ostler. The main actor, I think, is Elliot Cowan. So Howl, it's so generic a title. And it, all these, I watch it on Amazon Prime, and there's so many movies, like, you don't know what's what. Everything starts to look like garbage after a while, and I don't want to pick anything. And now, like, I was, okay, it's probably going to suck, but I want to find a good movie. And then my friend Adrian, he had suggested Howl years ago, and then I know another one of my friends has it, and then that made me not want to see it. That people were saying it was good. I was like, what the hell is wrong? Like, people I know are saying it's good, and I just reject it. And I was gonna watch some other like kind of crappy looking movie, and I was like, no, watch Howl. And then someone did actually. Then someone did a video. I can't remember who. Not like a review, but just talking about how different it was for a werewolf movie. So I was like, maybe I should watch it. So I did, and it was pretty darn good. It's just passengers on a train that stops. I thought it was derailed, but it's not derailed. And they get off. Finally, they're like, let's just walk out of here. So they do, and then I think maybe they had already been attacked once. I'm not sure. I don't think so. Oh no, so, I think the conductor or the train driver, he had gotten killed and they didn't know it yet. So they get off and they start walking, and then there's something chasing them in the woods. They get back on the train. Oh, and this one passenger's getting on and her leg gets bit, and like she flies up to the ceiling and falls down. I thought like she's gonna pull her leg and it's a stump, but it was a big nasty bite. So that was pretty cool. And then it's a werewolf attack. And at first, I think it's one, and they're able to stop it. But then there's a bunch of them. But what's so cool is these werewolves, they don't have hair. Most of them, they have a little bit of hair. And they look even more wicked without hair. Because, always imagine werewolves as hairy beasts. And this is the only werewolf movie I can think of where they're just skin, but they have long hair, crazy looking evil eyes, and they were pretty wicked and evil looking. A little scary too. And then there's one part where they're in the woods and you see them running around, and I was like, man, that looks so cool. I couldn't tell if they're CGI or not. It didn't matter. I think it's worth seeing just to see what the werewolves look like. There is, I guess, I was thinking there's something just not letting me love this movie. And I think it's just because there's just a glut of crappy horror movies that it kind of brings the good ones down. And this is it's not great, but it is good. I'm glad I watched it. There's not a lot, but there's enough gore, like, to where it satisfied me. Like, any less, I'd be like, man, the only thing I needed was more blood and guts and Gru being tossed across the screen. But it was just enough. Nothing too crazy. That I can't really think of one, like, explosive scene of gore. But it was good. It was good. And it has pretty much just a downer, not sad, but just like, oh man. Well, it just has like a little hope, but then like, it was a good, mean, bad ending. So I was like, okay, cool, that's cool. It didn't wrap it up in a nice happy bow for you at the end. So 2015's Howl. I looked up the director. He worked on Dog Soldiers and The Descent. I think he did effects on it. He's made two more movies, The Convent in 2018, and then something else, and they didn't look too great. But maybe his next movie will be good. Try to keep an eye on him. There's so much, so many movies coming out. You don't know what to watch. So if you haven't seen Howl, I would. And you have Amazon Prime. I think you can see it anywhere. It might even be on YouTube. I haven't checked. So let me find one final image from Kostja and Hell to leave you with. And I got more zines. I definitely have more zines to review. What's that? Oh my god. Well, we'll go out with that. How's that? Festival. So, Howl. Give it a chance.